You know, I've been thinking about something lately. Something that's been gnawing at me, keeping me up at night, and I bet it's been bothering you too, whether you realize it or not. It's this idea, this dangerous little notion that's crept into our society. The idea that change is something that happens to us, not something we make happen. Now let me ask you a question. When was the last time you looked at your life and said, this isn't good enough? When was the last time you decided that you weren't going to wait around for things to get better, but that you were going to make them better? Too many of us are sitting on the sidelines of our own lives, waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect opportunity, the perfect circumstances. Well, I've got news for you. That perfect moment, it doesn't exist. It never has, and it never will. You see, life doesn't happen to you. Life responds to you. It's not about waiting for the storms to pass. It's about learning to dance in the rain. And let me tell you, some of the best dancers I know started in the middle of a downpour. Now, I know what some of you are thinking, but things are tough right now. The economy is not what it used to be. There's so much uncertainty in the world. And you're right, things are tough. But let me ask you this. When in history has anything great ever been achieved without overcoming tough times? You see, tough times don't last, but tough people do. And I'm here to tell you that you're tougher than you think. You've got more potential inside you than you could ever imagine. But potential without action is like having a Ferrari in your garage that you never drive. It might look impressive, but it's not taking you anywhere. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to make a decision right now. A decision that from this moment on, you're not going to wait for change to happen. You're going to make it happen. You're going to be the architect of your own destiny. Now, I know that sounds big. It sounds intimidating. But here's the secret. Big changes don't happen overnight. They happen one small decision at a time, one small action at a time. You want to start a business? Great. But don't wait until you have everything figured out. Start small. Start where you are. Use what you have. Do what you can. Maybe that means setting aside an hour each day to work on your business. Maybe it means reaching out to one potential customer or mentor each week. The point is, start moving. You want to get in shape? Fantastic. But don't wait until you have the perfect workout routine or diet plan. Start today, go for a walk, do some push-ups, eat one healthier meal. Small actions consistently taken lead to big results. You want to improve your relationships? Wonderful. But don't wait for the other person to change. Be the change you want to see. Show more kindness. Listen more actively. Express gratitude more frequently. These small acts can transform your relationships over time. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be easy. Change is never easy. If it were, everyone would be living their dream life. But here's the thing of staying the same is ultimately greater than the pain of change. Think about it. 5 years from now, you can be exactly where you are today, dealing with the same problems, facing the same challenges, or you can be in a completely different place. The choice is yours. But remember, not making a choice is still making a choice. You see, life is not about finding yourself. Life is about creating yourself. And creation is an active process. It requires intention, effort, and persistence. I remember a young man I met years ago. He was working a dead-end job, barely making ends meet. He told me he was waiting for his big break, waiting for things to turn around. I asked him, "What are you doing while you're waiting?" He looked at me puzzled. I said, "Are you learning new skills? Are you networking? Are you saving money? Are you working on your mindset?" He admitted he wasn't doing any of those things. He was just waiting. And that's the trap so many of us fall into. We think that by waiting, we're being patient. But there's a big difference between patience and passivity. Patience is active. It's working towards your goals while understanding that results take time. Passivity is just letting life happen to you. That young man took my advice to heart. He started using his evenings to learn coding. He started attending industry events and making connections. He started putting aside a little money each month, even though it wasn't much. And you know what? Within 2 years, he had landed a job at a tech startup. Within 5 years, he had started his own company. The point is, he stopped waiting for change to happen and started making it happen. And that's what I'm challenging you to do today. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, but I don't know where to start. Well, let me give you a simple formula. It's something I've used throughout my life, and it's never failed me. It goes like this. Dream big, start small. But dream big. Allow yourself to imagine the life you truly want. Don't let your current circumstances limit your vision. Remember, your current reality is just a result of your past thoughts and actions. It doesn't define your future unless you let it. Start small. Break down your big dreams into small, manageable steps. If you want to write a book, start by writing 1 page a day. If you want to run a marathon, start by running around the block. Small steps might not seem significant, but they create momentum. And momentum is a powerful force. But most of all, start. Take action today. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when you feel ready. Because here's a secret. You'll never feel completely ready. The most successful people in the world are those who were willing to start before they felt ready. Now, let's talk about fear for a moment. Because fear is often what keeps us waiting. Fear of failure, fear of the unknown, fear of what others might think. But here's the thing about fear. It tells you that you're not good enough, that you're not ready, that you can't do it. But that's not. Fear is just false evidence appearing real. It's your imagination working overtime, conjuring up worst-case scenarios that rarely, if ever, come to pass. And even if they did, so what? Failure isn't fatal. In fact, failure is often the stepping stone to success. I've failed more times than I can count. But you know what? Each failure taught me something. Each setback made me stronger, more resilient, more determined. And that's true for anyone who's ever achieved anything worthwhile. Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before he successfully invented the light bulb. When asked about it, he said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." That's the mindset of a person who refuses to wait for success to happen. That's the mindset of a person who makes success happen. So I want you to embrace failure. I want you to see it not as something to be feared, but as something to be learned from. Because the only real failure in life is the failure to try. Now, let's talk about excuses. Because excuses are the nails used to build a house of failure. And believe me, I've heard them all. I'm too old. I'm too young. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough time. I don't have the right connections. But here's the truth. You can come up with, there's someone out there who's faced the same obstacle and overcome it. There are people who started successful businesses in their 60s and 70s. There are teenagers who've become millionaires. There are people who've built empires starting with nothing but an idea and determination. You see, success doesn't know age. It doesn't know your background. It doesn't know your circumstances. All it knows is effort, persistence, and a refusal to give up. So from this moment on, I want you to make a pact with yourself. No more excuses, no more I can't. From now on, it's how can I? Instead of saying I don't have time, ask yourself, how can I make time? Instead of saying I don't have the money, ask yourself, how can I raise the money? This shift in mindset from problem-focused to solution-focused is game-changing. It moves you from a passive state of waiting to an active state of doing. Now, let's talk about comfort zones, because comfort zones are beautiful things. They're cozy, they're familiar, they're, well, comfortable, but you know what else they are? They're the enemies of growth. Nothing great ever came from comfort zones. Every major breakthrough, every significant achievement, every remarkable success story started with someone stepping out of their comfort zone. You see, life begins at the end of your comfort zone. That's where the magic happens. That's where you discover what you're truly capable of. That's where you find your greatness. So I challenge you to do something that scares you every day. It doesn't have to be big. Maybe it's speaking up in a meeting when you usually stay quiet. Maybe it's trying a new hobby. Maybe it's striking up a conversation with a stranger. Whatever it is, do it. Because each time you step out of your comfort zone, it expands. And as your comfort zone expands, so do your opportunities. Now, let's talk about time. Because time is the great equalizer. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. The difference between those who achieve their dreams and those who don't often comes down to how they use those 24 hours. You see, time is like a river. You can't stop it, you can't slow it down, but you can decide how to use it. You can let it carry you along aimlessly, or you can steer your boat in the direction you want to go. So I want you to start guarding your time like it's the precious resource it is. Because it's the most valuable thing you have. You can always make more money, but you can never make more time. Start by auditing how you're currently spending your time. Are you using it in ways that move you closer to your goals? Or are you letting it slip away on things that don't really matter? Now, I'm not saying you need to be productive every minute of every day. Rest and relaxation are important. But there's a difference between intentional rest and mindless time wasting. Make sure you're choosing the former, not falling into the latter. And here's a tip. Start waking up an hour earlier. Use that hour to work on your goals, to learn something new, to exercise, to meditate. That 1 hour a day adds up to 365 hours a year. That's over 15 full days. Imagine what you could accomplish with an extra 15 days a year focus solely on your goals. Now, let's talk about your environment, because your environment shapes you more than you might realize. The people you spend time with, the information you consume, the places you frequent, all of these influence your thoughts, your behaviors, and ultimately your outcomes. So take a hard look at your environment. Is it supporting your goals or hindering them? Are the people around you lifting you up or pulling you down? Are you feeding your mind with information that inspires and educates you, or are you consuming mindless entertainment? Remember, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So choose wisely. Surround yourself with people who inspire you, who challenge you, who believe in you, even when you don't believe in yourself. And don't just limit this to people. Surround yourself with books that expand your mind, with art that stirs your soul, with experiences that broaden your horizons. Create an environment that nurtures your growth and propels you toward your goals. Now let's talk about persistence, because persistence is the bridge between failure and success. It's what separates the dreamers from the achievers. It's what turns setbacks into comebacks. You see, most people overestimate what they can achieve in a year and underestimate what they can achieve in a decade. They give up too soon, not realizing how close they were to a breakthrough. Success is rarely a straight line. It's full of ups and downs, twists and turns. But here's the secret. The downs are just as important as the eeps. They're where you learn, where you grow, where you develop the strength and wisdom needed for long-term success. So when you face a setback, and you will face setbacks, don't see it as a sign to give up. See it as a sign to push harder. See it as life testing your commitment to your dreams. Remember, the darkest hour is just before dawn. Often when things seem the toughest, when you feel like giving up, that's when you're on the verge of a breakthrough. So don't quit. Keep going. Keep pushing. Keep believing. Now let's talk about gratitude. Because gratitude is the antidote to entitlement and the fuel for contentment. It's easy to focus on what we don't have, on what's not working, on what we're waiting for. But that mindset breeds dissatisfaction and inaction. Instead, start each day by focusing on what you're grateful for. It could be your health, your family, your job, the roof over your head. It could be something as simple as a good cup of coffee or a beautiful sunrise. This practice does 2 things. First, it shifts your focus from what's lacking to what's abundant in your life. And second, it puts you in a positive state of mind, making you more likely to take positive action. But here's the key. Don't just be grateful for what you have. Be grateful for what you're going to achieve. Be grateful for the person you're becoming. Be grateful for the journey you're on, challenges and all. You see, gratitude isn't just about appreciating the good things in your life. It's about finding the good in everything in your life. It's about seeing obstacles as opportunities, setbacks as setups for comebacks. Now, let's talk about your mindset. Because your mindset is everything. It's the lens through which you see the world and yourself. And if you want to stop waiting for change to happen and start making it happen, you need to develop what I call a growth mindset. A growth mindset is the belief that you can develop your abilities through dedication and hard work. It's the opposite of a fixed mindset, which believes that your qualities are carved in stone. People with a growth mindset embrace challenges, persist in the face of setbacks, see effort as the path to mastery, learn from criticism, and find lessons and inspiration in the success of others. They don't wait for opportunities. They create them. So how do you develop a growth mindset? Start by changing your self-talk. Instead of saying, I can't do this, say, I can't do this yet. Instead of saying, this is too hard, say, this is challenging, and I'm getting stronger as I work through it. Embrace the power of yet. I'm not good at public speaking. Yet, I don't know how to code yet. I haven't achieved my goals yet. This simple word opens up possibilities and keeps you focused on growth rather than limitations. And remember, your brain is like a muscle. The more you challenge it, the stronger it gets. So seek out new experiences, learn new skills, tackle difficult problems. Each time you do, you're literally rewiring your brain, creating new neural pathways that make you smarter, more creative, more resilient. Now, let's talk about your habits. Because your life today is essentially the sum of your habits. What you repeatedly do ultimately forms the person you are, the things you believe, and the personality you portray. If you want to change your life, start by changing your habits. And here's the good news. Habits are learnable and changeable. You're never too old, too set in your ways to form new habits. Start small. Want to write a book? Start with a habit of writing 100 words a day. Want to get in shape? Start with a habit of doing 10 push-ups a day. Want to start a business? Start with a habit of researching for 15 minutes a day. These might seem insignificant, but remember, small hinges swing big doors. These small habits, consistently applied, lead to big changes over time. And here's the protest. Link your new habits to existing ones? Want to start meditating? Do it right after you brush your teeth in the morning? Want to start journaling? Do it right before you go to bed. This makes it easier for your new habits to stick. Now, let's talk about goals. Because goals are the compass that guide your journey. Without clear goals, you're just drifting, waiting for life to happen to you instead of making it happen. But here's the thing about goals. They need to be smart, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. I want to be successful is not a smart goal. I want to increase my income by 20 in the next 12 months by developing a new skill and taking on additional responsibilities at work. That's a smart goal. And once you have your goals, write them down. There's something powerful about putting pen to paper. It makes your goals real, tangible. It's a commitment to yourself. But don't just write them down, forget about them. Review them regularly. Visualize yourself achieving them. Feel the emotions of success, because your mind can't always tell the difference between a vividly imagined event and a real one. This visualization primes your brain for success, making you more likely to notice opportunities and take actions that move you towards your goals. Now, let's talk about learning, because in today's world, if you're not learning, you're falling behind. The world is changing faster than ever before, and the only way to keep up is to become a lifelong learner. But here's the thing. Learning doesn't stop when you leave school. In fact, that's when the real learning begins. Every successful person I've ever met has been a voracious learner. They're constantly reading, asking questions, seeking out new experiences. So I challenge you to learn something new every day. It doesn't have to be big. Maybe it's a new word, a new fact, a new skill. The point is to keep growing, keep expanding your mind. And don't just learn for the sake of accumulating knowledge. Learn with the intention of applying what you learn. Knowledge without action is like having a library of books you never read. It's potential going to waste. Now, let's talk about your network, because your network is your net worth. The relationships you build, the connections you make can open doors you never even knew existed. But networking isn't about collecting business cards or adding connections on LinkedIn. It's about building genuine relationships. It's about adding value to others' lives before asking for anything in return. So start reaching out. Attend industry events. Join professional organizations. Volunteer for causes you care about. And when you meet people, be genuinely interested in them. Ask questions. Listen more than you talk. Look for ways you can help them. Remember, the most valuable connections often come from unexpected places, so don't limit yourself to people in your industry or people you think can help you right now. You never know where a relationship might lead. Now, let's talk about your health, because your health is your wealth. You can have all the success in the world, but if you don't have your health, none of it matters. So stop waiting to get in shape. Stop waiting to eat better. Stop waiting to take care of your mental health. Start today. Start small if you need to, but start. Go for a walk, drink more water, get an extra hour of sleep. Meditate for 5 minutes. These small actions done consistently can have a massive impact on your overall health and well-being. And remember, taking care of your health isn't selfish. It's necessary. You can't pour from an empty cup. By taking care of yourself, you're ensuring that you have the energy, the vitality, the mental clarity to pursue your goals and take care of the people you love. Now, let's talk about money, because financial freedom gives you options. It gives you the ability to say no to things you don't want to do and yes to things you do. It gives you the security to take risks, to pursue your passions. But financial freedom doesn't happen by accident. It happens by design. It happens through disciplined saving, smart investing, and continual financial education. So stop waiting to get your finances in order. Start today, create a budget, start saving, even if it's just a little bit each month. Educate yourself about investing. And most importantly, develop a wealth mindset. A wealth mindset isn't about greed or materialism. It's about seeing money as a tool, a means to an end rather than an end in itself. It's about understanding that money is a reflection of the value you provide to others. Now, let's talk about your legacy. Because at the end of the day, we all want to know that our life mattered, that we made a difference. Your legacy isn't something that happens after you're gone. It's something you're creating every day with every action you take, every person you impact, every value you uphold. So stop waiting to make a difference. Start today. Look for ways to add value to others' lives. Mentor someone. Volunteer. Support a cause you believe in. Share your knowledge and skills. Remember, you don't have to change the whole world to leave a legacy. Changing one person's world is enough, and who knows, that one person might go on to change the world. Now, as we start to wrap up, I want to talk about something that's at the heart of everything we've discussed today. Something that's essential if you want to stop waiting for change to happen and start making it happen. I'm talking about personal responsibility. You see, there's a fundamental truth that many people struggle to accept. You are responsible for your life, not your parents, not your boss, not the government, not the economy. This can be a hard pill to swallow. It's much easier to blame our circumstances, to point fingers, to make excuses. But here's the thing. As long as you're blaming others for your situation, you're giving away your power to change it. Taking responsibility for your life isn't about blame. It's not about beating yourself up for past mistakes or current circumstances. It's about empowering yourself to create the future you want. It's about saying, this is my life. I'm in charge. I'm the author of my story. When you truly embrace this mindset, it's liberating. Because if you're responsible for your life, that means you have the power to change it. You're not a victim of circumstances. You're a creator of circumstances. So from this moment on, I want you to stop waiting for someone to rescue you, to fix your problems, to hand you opportunities on a silver platter. Start taking charge of your life. If you don't like your job, don't wait for a better one to magically appear. Start looking, start networking. Start developing new skills that make you more valuable in the job market. If you're not happy with your relationships, don't wait for others to change. Look at how you can be a better partner, friend, family member. Work on your communication skills. Practice empathy and understanding. If you're not satisfied with your financial situation, don't wait for a windfall or a raise. Start budgeting. Start saving. Start looking for ways to increase your income or reduce your expenses. Remember, taking responsibility doesn't mean you have to do everything alone. It doesn't mean you can't ask for help or support. In fact, knowing when to ask for help is a sign of strength, not weakness. But it does mean that ultimately, you're in charge. You're the CEO of your life. And like any good CEO, you need to take decisive action to move your life in the direction you want it to go. Now, I know this isn't easy. Change is hard. Taking responsibility is hard. It's much easier to stay in our comfort zones, to keep doing what we've always done, to wait for things to magically get better. But easy isn't fulfilling. Easy doesn't lead to growth. Easy doesn't create the life of your dreams. So I challenge you right here, right now, to make a decision. A decision to stop waiting and start doing. A decision to take charge of your life. A decision to be the architect of your own destiny. Because here's the truth. The life you want is out there waiting for you, but it's not going to come knocking on your door. You have to go out and create it. You have the power within you to achieve amazing things. You have talents and abilities that you haven't even tapped into yet. You have dreams that are waiting to be turned into reality. But none of that will happen if you're sitting on the sidelines of your own life, waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect opportunity, the perfect circumstances. The perfect moment is now. The perfect opportunity is the one you create. The perfect circumstances are the ones you're in right now, because they're the only ones you have to work with. So stop waiting, start doing, start moving, start creating. Because life is short and time is precious. And you weren't put on this earth to be ordinary. You were put here to be extraordinary, to make a difference, to leave your mark. But that can only happen if you decide, right now, to stop waiting for change to happen. You see, at the end of your life, you're not going to regret the things you did nearly as much as the things you didn't do, the chances you didn't take, the dreams you didn't pursue. Don't let that be your story. Don't let fear or doubt or complacency rob you of the life you're capable of living. Instead, I want you to imagine yourself 5 years from now, having taken action on everything we've talked about today. Imagine the person you've become, the goals you've achieved, the impact you've made. That future is possible, but it's up to you to create it. So as you leave here today, I want you to make a promise to yourself, a promise that from this day forward, you're going to stop waiting and start doing, a promise that you're going to take charge of your life, a promise that you're going to pursue your dreams with everything you've got, because you have greatness within you. You have the power to create an extraordinary life, and the world needs what only you can give. So go out there and make it happen. Your future self is counting on you. My friends, today I want to share with you a piece of wisdom that has guided my life, a philosophy that has turned an ordinary existence into an extraordinary adventure. It's something my parents taught me, something they practiced their entire lives, and something I've carried with me every step of my journey. Don't miss anything. Don't miss the game. Don't miss the concert. Don't miss the performance. Don't miss the show. Don't miss the conversation. Don't miss the sermon. Don't miss the class. Don't miss anything. It sounds simple, doesn't it? But oh, the profound impact this philosophy can have on your life. It's not just about being busy or filling up your calendar. It's about being present, being engaged, being alive in every moment. Let's break it down, shall we? When I say don't miss the game, I'm not just talking about sports. I'm talking about life's game. The game of growth, of learning, of becoming the best version of yourself. Every day presents new challenges, new opportunities to score points in your personal development. Are you showing up to play, or are you sitting on the sidelines? Think about it. How many times have you passed up an opportunity because it seemed too difficult, too inconvenient, or too far out of your comfort zone? How many times have you said no to an experience that could have expanded your horizons, taught you something new, or connected you with someone who could have changed your life? Each time you do that, you're missing a part of the game. You're forfeiting points, letting opportunities for growth and success slip through your fingers. But when you show up, when you engage, when you play full out, that's when the magic happens. That's when you grow, when you learn, when you become more than you were yesterday. Now, when I say don't miss the concert, I'm talking about the music of life. The laughter of friends, the rustle of leaves in the wind, the rhythm of a bustling city. Life has its own soundtrack unique to each of us. Are you tuning in, or are you drowning it out with noise and distractions? In our modern world, it's so easy to get caught up in the hustle and bustle, to let the beautiful music of life fade into background noise. We walk around with our heads down, our ears plugged, our minds elsewhere. But when we do that, we miss out on the symphony that's playing all around us. I remember a time when I was rushing through an airport, stressed about making my flight. I was so focused on my destination that I was completely missing the journey. But then I heard something that made me stop in my track. It was the sound of a child's laughter, pure and joyful. In that moment, I realized I had been missing the music. I had been so caught up in my own worries that I had forgotten to listen to the beautiful sounds of life happening all around me. From that day on, I made a conscious effort to tune in to life's concert, and let me tell you, it's made all the difference. The world became richer, more vibrant, more alive. I started noticing things I had never seen before, hearing things I had never heard. The simple act of paying attention, of really listening to the music of life, transformed my entire experience of the world. Don't miss the performance. Life is putting on a show for you every single day. The sun rising and setting, painting the sky in breathtaking colors, the intricate dance of humanity as people go about their days, the personal growth you experience as you face and overcome challenges. Are you watching with rapt attention, or are your eyes glazed over, missing the magic happening right in front of you? You see, every day is a performance, and you have front row seats. But are you watching? Are you really seeing the show that's unfolding before your eyes? Or are you distracted, your mind somewhere else, missing the beauty and drama of life's daily performance? I once met a man who had the most fascinating perspective on this. He was a janitor at a busy office building, but he approached his work as if he were a performer on a grand stage. He saw the shine of the floors he polished as a reflection of his dedication. He viewed the people he interacted with as his audience, always striving to leave them with a positive experience. He turned what many would consider a mundane job into a daily performance of excellence and human connection. This man understood something crucial. Life's performance isn't just about the big moments, the grand gestures. It's about showing up fully in every moment, bringing your best self to every interaction, every task. It's about seeing the extraordinary in the ordinary, the magic in the mundane. Don't miss the show. Life is the greatest show on earth, and you've got a starring role. But are you playing your part to the fullest? Are you bringing your best self to the stage every day? Or are you hiding in the wings, too afraid to step into the spotlight? You see, we're all actors in this grand production called life. Some of us are playing lead roles, some supporting characters, but every single one of us is essential to the story. Your life, your journey, your growth, it's all part of the show. And it's a show that deserves your full participation, your full attention, your full effort. I've seen too many people treating their lives like dress rehearsals, waiting for some future moment when they'll finally step onto the stage and start living. But here's the truth. The curtain is already up. The show has already started. This is your moment right here, right now. Don't miss it. Don't miss the conversation. Every interaction is an opportunity to learn, to grow. That chat with the grocery store clerk, the deep discussion with an old friend, the challenging dialogue with someone who holds different views. These are all chances to expand your understanding of the world and yourself. Are you fully present in these moments, or are you half listening, your mind already on the next thing? In today's world, genuine conversation is becoming a lost art. We're so used to quick text messages, to surface-level interactions, that we're forgetting how to truly connect with one another. But let me tell you, there's magic in real conversation. There's power in truly listening, in being full present with another human being. I remember a conversation I had with a stranger on a long train ride. At first, I was annoyed at the interruption to my solitude. But as we talked, as I really listened to his story and shared my own, I realized I was experiencing something profound. That conversation changed my perspective on several important issues in my life. It opened my eyes to a different way of seeing the world, and it all happened because I chose not to miss that conversation. Don't miss the sermon. Now, I'm not necessarily talking about church here, although that might be important to some of you. I'm talking about the lessons life is constantly trying to teach us. Every experience, every failure, every success has something to teach us if we're willing to listen. Are you an eager student of life, or are you skipping class? Life is the greatest teacher you'll ever have. It's constantly offering lessons, constantly providing opportunities for growth and learning. But here's the thing. You've got to be paying attention. You've got to be willing to listen, to learn, to grow. I've learned some of my most valuable lessons from the most unexpected sources. From the resilience of a small plant pushing through a crack in the concrete. From the patience of a mother teaching her child to tie their shoes. From the determination of an ant carrying a load many times its size. Life is preaching a sermon every single day. Don't miss it. Don't miss the class. Life is the greatest classroom, and it's got one heck of a curriculum plan for you. But here's the kicker. You've got to show up to class. You've got to be willing to learn, to make mistakes, to try new things. Are you raising your hand, asking questions, diving deep into the subject matter of life? Or are you dozing in the back row, just waiting for the bell to ring? Every day presents new opportunities to learn and grow. Every challenge is a lesson in disguise. Every setback is a chance to develop resilience. Every success is an opportunity to cultivate gratitude. But you've got to be present. You've got to be engaged. You've got to be willing to do the work. I remember when I first started my business, I knew nothing about entrepreneurship. I made mistakes. I faced setbacks. I had moments of doubt. But I approached each day as a student, eager to learn. And let me tell you, that attitude made all the difference. Because when you approach life as a constant learner, there's no such thing as failure. There are only lessons. Now, some of you might be thinking, that sounds exhausting. How can I possibly not miss anything? There's so much going on. And you're right, there's a lot going on. But that's the beauty of it. Life is abundant, overflowing with opportunities and experiences. Your job isn't to do everything. It's to be full present in whatever you choose to do. You see, it's not about quantity, it's about quality. It's about approaching each moment, each interaction, each experience with intention and awareness. It's about being fully there, fully engaged, fully alive. So how do we do this? How do we live a life where we don't miss anything? Well, my friends, it starts with a simple shift in perspective. It starts with embracing the second part of this philosophy. Go look, see, learn, try, taste. Let that flavor of life be part of your lifestyle. Go look. How often do we really look at the world around us? I mean, really look with curiosity and wonder. We're so often caught up in our own thoughts, our own worries, that we miss the incredible beauty and complexity of the world around us. The intricate patterns in a leaf, the play of light and shadow on a building, the subtle expressions on people's faces. There's so much to see if we just take the time to look. I challenge you to start each day with a sense of curiosity. Look at your surroundings as if you're seeing them for the first time. Notice the details you usually overlook. You'll be amazed at how much richer your world becomes when you truly start to look. See, this goes beyond just looking. Seeing means understanding, perceiving, gaining insight. It's about looking beneath the surface, questioning, seeking to understand. When you truly see, you begin to understand the interconnectedness of all things, the cause and effect that shapes our world. I remember a time when I was struggling with a business decision. I was so focused on the numbers, on the short-term gain, that I couldn't see the bigger picture. But when I took a step back, when I really looked at the situation and tried to see it from all angles, I realized that the decision that seemed right on paper was wrong for my long-term vision. Learning to truly see saved me from making a costly mistake. Learn. Life is the greatest teacher, and it never stops offering lessons. But it's up to us to be willing students. Every experience, every interaction, every challenge is an opportunity to learn something new. About the world, about others, about ourselves. The moment we stop learning is the moment we stop growing. I've made it a habit to ask myself at the end of each day, what did I learn today? Sometimes it's a big lesson, a profound insight. Other times it's something small, a new fact, or a useful skill. But by asking this question, I ensure that I'm always in a learning mindset. Let's try. This might be the most important one of all. It's easy to sit on the sidelines to play it safe. But life's richest experiences, its greatest rewards come when we're willing to try, to step out of our comfort zones, to take risks, to be willing to fail. Because here's the truth. Failure isn't the opposite of success. It's a stepping stone to success. I've failed more times than I can count. I've had business ventures that didn't work out, relationships that ended, projects that fell flat. But each of those failures taught me something valuable. Each of those failures made me stronger, wiser, more resilient. And each of those failures led me one step closer to success. Don't be afraid to try new things. Don't be afraid to fail. Because in trying, in risking, in being willing to fail, that's where the real growth happens. That's where you discover what you're truly capable of. Taste, savor life, my friends. Don't just gulp it down in big, hurried swallows. Take the time to really taste the experiences life offers you. Feel the textures, notice the subtle flavors, appreciate the complexity. This is about being present, about fully experiencing each moment. When you eat a meal, really taste it, appreciate the flavors, the textures, the effort that went into preparing it. When you're with friends, savor the laughter, the connection, the joy of shared experiences. When you achieve a goal, take the time to really feel the satisfaction, to appreciate the journey that got you there. Life is rich, complex, full of flavor. But so often, we rush through it, barely tasting what it has to offer. Slow down, savor, appreciate. Let the full flavor of life dance on your tongue and nourish your soul. When you embrace this approach to life, when you go, look, see, learn, try, and taste, you're letting the full flavor of life become part of your lifestyle. You're not just existing, you're living. Fully, richly, deeply. Now I can almost hear some of you thinking, that sounds great, but I'm too busy. I've got responsibilities, obligations. I don't have time for all that. And I get it. I really do. Life can be hectic, demanding. But here's the thing. This isn't about adding more to your plate. It's about changing how you approach what's already on your plate. It's about being fully present in each moment, fully engaged in each task, each interaction. It's about bringing curiosity, openness, and enthusiasm to everything you do. When you do that, even the most mundane tasks can become opportunities for growth and fulfillment. Let me give you an example. Say you're stuck in traffic on your way to work. Now, you could sit there, fuming and frustrated, watching the minutes tick by. Or you could see it as an opportunity to practice patience, an opportunity to listen to an audiobook and learn something new, an opportunity to really look at the world around you, to notice things you've never seen before on your daily commute. Same situation, completely different experience, all because of how you choose to approach it. Now, let's talk about why this matters. Why is it so important to live life this way, to not miss anything, to embrace the full flavor of life? First and foremost, it leads to a richer, more fulfilling life. When you're fully engaged, fully present, you experience life more deeply. The highs are higher, the joys more joyful. Even the challenging times become opportunities for growth and learning, rather than just obstacles to be endured. Secondly, it leads to personal growth. When you're open to new experiences, when you're constantly learning and trying new things, you can't help but grow. You develop new skills, gain new insights, become more adaptable and resilient. In a world that's constantly changing, these are invaluable qualities. Thirdly, it leads to stronger, more meaningful relationships. When you're fully present in your interactions with others, when you're truly listening and engaging, you connect on a deeper level. You build trust, understanding, and empathy. And let me tell you, in the end, it's our relationships that give life its deepest meaning. Fourthly, it leads to success. Now, I'm not just talking about financial success, although that can certainly be a part of it. I'm talking about success in its broadest sense, achieving your goals, realizing your potential, making a positive impact on the world. When you're fully engaged in life, when you're constantly learning and growing, you can't help but move forward, can't help but succeed. But perhaps most importantly, living this way leads to a life of no regrets. At the end of the day, at the end of your life, you won't be wishing you'd spent more time worrying, more time playing it safe, more time going through the motions. You'll be grateful for every now. I want you to think about something for a moment. Think about the great men and women throughout history who have made a real impact on the world. The inventors, the leaders, the artists, the visionaries. What do they all have in common? They didn't miss out on life. They were fully engaged, fully present. They looked, they saw, they learned, they tried. They tasted every flavor life had to offer. Take Thomas Edison, for example. He didn't just invent the light bulb and call it a day. He was constantly looking, constantly learning, constantly trying. He saw possibilities where others saw only problems. He learned from every failed experiment. He tried over and over again, never letting failure deter him. And in doing so, he didn't just change the world. He experienced the full richness of life. Or consider someone like Eleanor Roosevelt. She didn't just sit back and enjoy the privileges of her position. She engaged fully with the world around her. She looked at the challenges facing society and saw opportunities for change. She learned about the struggles of others and used that knowledge to fight for their rights. She tried new approaches to diplomacy and social reform, and in doing so, she not only made a significant impact on the world, she lived a life of incredible depth and meaning. These individuals understood something crucial. Life isn't something that happens to you. It's something you actively engage with, something you shape through your choices and actions. They didn't miss out on anything because they were too busy creating, too busy living, too busy making their mark on the world. Now, I'm not saying you need to invent the next world-changing technology or become a global leader to live a meaningful life. What I am saying is that you need to bring that same level of engagement, that same enthusiasm for life to whatever it is you do. If you're a teacher, Don't just go through the motions of delivering lessons. Really see your students. Learn from them as much as they learn from you. Try new methods to reach those who are struggling. Taste the satisfaction of seeing a child's eyes light up with understanding. If you're a business owner, don't just focus on the bottom line. Look for ways to innovate, to better serve your customers. See the potential in your employees and help them grow. Learn from your competitors and your failures. Try new strategies, new markets, new products. Taste the thrill of building something meaningful. If you're a parent, don't just go through the daily routine of caring for your children. Really look at them, see who they are becoming. Learn from their innocence and wonder. Try to see the world through their eyes. Taste the joy of watching them grow and develop. Whatever your role in life, whatever your passions, whatever your goals, approach them with this philosophy. Don't miss anything. Look, see, learn, try, taste. Let the full flavor of life infuse everything you do. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. This all sounds great, but how do I actually do it? How do I start living this way? Well, my friends, I'm glad you asked. Because the beauty of this philosophy is that you can start right now, right where you are. Start small. In your very next interaction, practice being fully present. Really listen, really engage. In your next task, approach it with curiosity and openness. What can you learn from this? How can you grow? Look for opportunities to try something new, even if it's something small. Take a different route to work. Try new food. Strike up a conversation with someone you don't know. Small steps taken consistently lead to big changes. Practice gratitude. Take time each day to really appreciate the experiences you've had, the things you've learned, the people you've connected with. Gratitude opens our eyes to the abundance of life, helps us see the extraordinary in the ordinary. Cultivate curiosity. Ask questions. Wonder why things are the way they are. Look beneath the surface. The more curious you are, the more interesting life becomes. Be willing to be a beginner. Too often, we don't try new things because we're afraid of not being good at them. But here's the truth. Everyone starts as a beginner. Embrace that. Enjoy the process of learning and growing. Practice mindfulness. This doesn't mean you need to start meditating for hours every day. Although that can certainly be beneficial, it simply means practicing being present in the moment. When you're eating, really taste your food. When you're walking, really feel your feet on the ground, the air on your skin. When you're talking with someone, really focus on the conversation. Seek out new experiences. Make it a point to regularly do something you've never done before. It doesn't have to be big or dramatic. It could be as simple as trying a new hobby, visiting a new place in your town, or learning about a topic you know nothing about. Embrace challenges. When faced with a difficult situation, instead of wishing it away, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can this help me grow? Some of life's greatest lessons come from its biggest challenges. Connect with others. Share your experiences, your insights, your challenges. Listen to others' stories. We can learn so much from each other, and connecting deeply with others adds richness and depth to our lives. Reflect regularly. Take time to think about your experiences, what you've learned, how you've grown. This helps to reinforce the lessons and insights you've gained and helps you to see your own growth and progress. Now, I want to be clear about something. Living this way, not missing anything, embracing the full flavor of life. It's not always easy. There will be times when it's uncomfortable, when it's challenging, when it would be easier to just go through the motions or play it safe. But I promise you this, it's worth it. The richness of experience, the depth of understanding, the joy of genuine connection, the thrill of personal growth. These are the things that make life truly worth living. And here's the beautiful thing. The more you live this way, the more natural it becomes. It becomes your default mode, your way of being in the world. And when that happens, my friends, that's when life becomes a grand adventure, a journey of constant discovery and growth. So I challenge you, starting right now, Commit to not missing anything. Commit to going out there to look, see, learn, try, and taste. Commit to letting the full flavor of life become part of your lifestyle. Because here's the truth. Life is happening right now. This moment, this day, this is your life. It's not a dress rehearsal. It's not something to be endured until the weekend or until vacation or until retirement. It's happening right now. And it's up to you to grab it with both hands, to squeeze every ounce of experience, growth, and joy out of it that you can. You see, at the end of the day, we don't regret the things we did nearly as much as the things we didn't do. The conversations we didn't have, the chances we didn't take, the experiences we let slip by. Don't let that be your story. Instead, let your story be one of a life fully lived. A life rich in experiences, in learning, in connections. A life where you can look back and say, I didn't miss a thing. I tasted every flavor life had to offer. Because that, my friends, is what it means to truly live. That's what it means to not just exist, but to thrive. That's what it means to embrace the grand adventure that is life. So go out there. Don't miss a thing. Look, see, learn, try, taste. Let the flavor of life infuse every aspect of your being. Because life is calling, and it's time to answer. It's time to live fully and completely, starting right now. Remember, success is not something you pursue. It's something you attract by the person you become. And when you live life this way, full present, fully engaged, always learning and growing, you become the kind of person who can't help but you become the kind of person who inspires others, who makes a difference, who leaves a lasting impact on the world. So don't wait. Don't put it off. Don't say someday. Someday is a disease that will take your dreams to the grave with you. Start now. Start where you are. Use what you have. Do what you can. Because life is not about finding yourself. It's about creating yourself. It's about becoming the person you want to be, living the life you want to live. And that starts with a decision to be fully present, a decision to engage fully with life, a decision to not miss a thing. You have that power. You have that choice right here, right now. So what are you waiting for? The world is waiting. Life is waiting. Adventure is waiting. And it's all just outside your comfort zone. Step out. Reach out. Look out. There's a whole world of experiences, of growth, of connection waiting for you. Don't miss it. Don't let it pass you by. Grab it. Embrace it. Live it. Because at the end of the day, at the end of your life, that's what will matter. Not the things you own, not the titles you held, but the life you lived. The experiences you had, the people you touched, the growth you achieved. So I leave you with this challenge. Starting today, commit to living fully. Commit to not missing a thing. Commit to tasting every flavor life has to offer. Because life is not meant to be lived halfway. It's meant to be lived fully, completely, with every fiber of your being,